Hi, I'm James Burnham. This is my new segment, Wisdom from a Trail. And today we're going to talk about why it's so hard to leave a toxic relationship. You know what? If you're leaving a relationship, it's because there's some level of toxicity in it that you can no longer tolerate. There's something happening that you just are like, man, I can't do this anymore. Maybe your spouse fall into addiction. Maybe your spouse decided to chase dreams and goals that you don't like. Maybe your spouse is acting out because of a trauma that happened in their lives. I don't know. But whatever it is, they have become toxic to you, and you are now recognizing it. Or maybe they were that way the whole time, and you, through your work and personal effort, are finally coming to the conclusion that this doesn't work for you. If that's the case, you got to disenmesh yourself. You got to get to a point where those things that are hitting you no longer hurt you anymore. And what I will say is that there's a reason it's so hard to leave. If you look at psychology today, they talk about toxic relationships and why they're so hard to leave. And the definition of it, when you look at it, is that when you're in a relationship with someone who's toxic, you become chemically dependent upon that person. Because rather than looking to yourself for affirmation, self-worth, and belonging, you're looking to this person. And when this person who you're with is causing you pain because of their behaviors, you begin to look to them for relief from that pain. Because that person is causing that pain, and rather than looking to yourself, you say to yourself, what do I need to get this person back in my good graces? And then you perform that, and when you're back in their good graces, you chemically tell yourself through the affirmation and the change behavior that you receive that the way back to equilibrium, to your comfort zone, to feeling loved and affirmed, is through the toxic person that created this scenario where you're uncomfortable in the very first place. It's a vicious circle, and you have to break it. So how do you do that? Well, I got a few ways. First of all, you have to understand, oh my gosh, I'm in a toxic relationship. This is a cycle that's repeating itself. This can be extremely hard to do. When you're in it, it is incredibly difficult sometimes to notice that this is happening. I don't know why, but it was for me. I think it is for everyone. But once you get to that point where you can see it, it becomes so clear. And that's good. It's good to have that clarity. The second thing that you want to do is you now want to recognize that blame will not help you. You may feel anger, frustration, sense of loss, a sense of injustice, whatever that thing that's hitting you may be, anger, right? Sadness. All these things play in as you begin to detach yourself from a toxic relationship, and you can be caught up in blame. It's easy to blame that person. It's easy to say, well, they did these things and I was being nice and they did this and that, and I don't know why somebody like that would do that to me when I'm being so kind. There's value in looking at that and accepting your anger, accepting your frustration, but it should be short-lived. Other than a short-lived value in recognizing it and moving beyond, it becomes a major barrier for us when we want to never enter into a relationship like that again. If we stay in blame, we're going to stay in toxic relationships, because the blame scenario utterly removes your personal responsibility for how you got into this spot in the first place. I'll tell you that the signs of who that person was or is were always there, and you were unable to recognize them. You got to consider that. One of the best things that I have done in order to get to a place outside of blame and personal responsibility is the practice of Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian methodology of cleansing your past of anything that harms you or hurts you, makes you feel bad, and you repeat that phrase. This is a very simplistic breakdown, but it'll work even at this level. Anything that's hurting you, the behavior of your ex, you look at and you say to yourself, I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, and thank you. And you think of all the things for which you're sorry that are hurting you. All the things for which you forgive, that you need to forgive. All of the things or need to be forgiven of, for which you love the person. And then all of the things for which you're thankful. This is a fantastic exercise. It strips the blame away. It gives you the power to be responsible for the behaviors that you yourself permitted, allowed, or just dealt with for far too long. That's step 2. Step 3 is absolutely essential and probably the one that is the hardest to accomplish, in my opinion. It is the rebuilding of your self-worth. You must learn to love yourself to the level in which you wish to be loved. You can't expect someone to love you when you have a deficit within yourself of love for who you are. You cannot expect the next person you meet to cover that gap. It is your job to cover that. So how much do you want to be loved? Think about it. And then look in the fucking mirror, direct into your eyes, and say to yourself, I love you. I love you for who you are. I love you for what you do. I love you for everything, the good and the bad. And when you can truly see that reflected in your eyes, holding the broad expanse of all your failures and all your successes, not one or the other, and still feel that love, wow, now you're on the path to staying away from toxic people. They won't be able to come near you because they won't be able to play on your weaknesses. They won't be able to hide in the shadows. Your shadows will be exposed. You'll know them. So this is powerful, and one that I think most of us fail to, it's one of the steps that most of us fail to really hold on to and take seriously, because it's hard. It's very hard when you're struggling to separate yourself and dig in and find out why. Why did you not love yourself to the level that you should have? There's no blame in that. It's just a confrontation of what you're avoiding. So if you want to really nail those things down, self-love is important. Look in the mirror, self-affirmations, practice self-compassion. These are the important things that will move you up to that next space. The final step is really taking your time. Get comfortable with being single. There's nothing wrong with it. Any sort of archetype, cultural tradition that you feel tells you that you are of less value as a single person than you are if you're married, or you have less capability of being happy single than you do if you're married, is false. Your happiness comes singularly from within. It is you who determines whether or not you're happy. And that, when you can really hold on to, is something that's important. And you can let go of that need for companionship immediately. You can let go of the desire to hide from what's bothering you in the arms of another, or the kindness of a friend who in the moment sees you in a way that you wish to be seen, and you're choosing to ignore the red flags that are all there because, well, frankly, you're lonely. Get ready to wait. Psychologists say that it takes you at least 1 year to get past that initial chemical high that you feel in the arms of that new person that seems so perfect in every way. After a year's time, you get to see the nuance of their behavior in many situations, and you begin to really understand, oh, this is who this person is. You want to know they're bad as much as you want to see they're good, because it's in their bad, in their worst behavior, that you will get to see how much you love them. That is the essence of getting out of a toxic relationship, those 4 steps, right? You follow those, and you will be able to see a toxic person coming from a mile away. And if you can't see them immediately, give yourself a year. And if they are toxic, well, within a year, you'll discover that, and you will not have dove into another bad relationship. Break the trend, break the behavior. Most people that get married a second time, 75%, I believe, or higher, have a divorce the second time because they have not followed these steps. They have run from one bad relationship, blaming, not looking to themselves, saying this other person is a narcissist. I hear this all the time. This other person did this and that to me, and all those things may be true. However, what really matters is, what did you do? What did you allow? Why did you stay so long? Why are you attracting yourself into spaces where this could happen to you? It's about you, no one else. That's how you avoid a toxic relationship. Thanks for joining me. Wisdom from the Trail. I'm James Burnham. And stick around for the next video coming up. Like, subscribe, comment. It makes a difference for me. I would really appreciate it.